Welcome back, wrestling fans, to a moment that has left the WWE Universe in stunned silence. Imagine the heartbreak rippling through the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, as the news broke on August 18, 2025, that Paul Heyman, the revolutionary mind behind ECW and the Bloodline, was gone, taken in a tragic accident. Tonight, we dive into Triple H's raw, emotional reaction, a moment that stripped away the corporate facade and revealed the man behind the game, grappling with grief. The air in the arena was heavy before Raw even began. Fans, expecting the usual chaos of Monday nights, were met with a somber hush as Triple H, WWE's chief content officer, took the stage. His usual swagger was absent, replaced by a trembling voice and eyes glistening with unshed tears. The crowd, sensing the weight of the moment, fell silent, their signs lowered in respect. Paul Heyman's passing wasn't just a loss for WWE, it was a seismic shift. The man who redefined wrestling with ECW, who shaped stars like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, was gone in an instant. Reports on X spoke of a car accident, a sudden tragedy that left the wrestling world reeling. Triple H, who'd known Heyman for decades, stood before the WWE Universe to honor his friend and rival. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. Alright, we're halfway through, and things are about to take a serious turn. If you thought you knew where this was going, think again, this is where the real drama unfolds. Stay tuned, because the best is yet to come. Triple H's speech was raw, unscripted. He spoke of their first meeting in 1997, when a young Paul Levesque, fresh in WWE, was captivated by Heyman's vision for ECW. He saw the future, Triple H said, his voice cracking, and he made us all believe in it. The crowd, many of whom grew up on ECW's rebellious spirit, chanted, "Thank you, Paul," their voices a chorus of gratitude and grief. Backstage, the locker room was a tapestry of sorrow. Roman Reigns, Heyman's former ally, stood alone in a corner, staring at the floor. The Bloodline's collapse, marked by Heyman's betrayal at WrestleMania 41, now felt trivial. Roman's silence spoke volumes, a man wrestling with guilt for the trust he'd lost in his wise men. CM Punk, another of Heyman's protégés, was visibly shaken. His history with Heyman, from ally to adversary, was complex, but the pain was undeniable. Punk's social media post later that night, a simple, "Rest in power, Paul," accompanied by a photo of them from 2012, captured a bond that transcended storylines. The Second City Saints' tears were real, a testament to Heyman's impact. The women's division, too, felt the void. Naomi, fresh off her pregnancy announcement, approached Triple H backstage, her embrace a silent acknowledgement of shared loss. Naomi's decision to step away from the ring now carried an added layer of grief, as she'd hoped to honor Heyman with one last match under his creative influence. Jey Uso, in the midst of his own battle against the Vision, paused his preparations for the night's gauntlet match. Heyman's ECW-style challenge to Jey was meant to be the centerpiece of Raw, but now it felt like a haunting echo of his legacy. Jey's eyes, red from crying, reflected a man torn between fighting for his family and mourning a mentor. The Vision, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, stood in stark contrast. Rollins, Heyman's latest ally, was uncharacteristically quiet. His usual bravado was gone, replaced by a hollow stare. X-Post speculated about tension within the Vision, with some suggesting Rollins felt betrayed by Heyman's secretive plans, even in death. Backstage dynamics were raw and chaotic. Triple H, as creative head, faced the impossible task of reshaping Raw. Without Heyman's genius, insiders revealed heated meetings, with writers and producers scrambling to honor Heyman's vision while navigating their own grief. The Oracle's absence left a creative vacuum, one that no one felt ready to fill. Health crises added to the night's weight. Seth Rollins, already nursing a knee injury from a recent moonsault gone wrong, pushed through his match, but his performance was subdued. The crowd noticed, their cheers muted, as if they, too, felt the loss of Heyman's guiding hand in Rollins' story. Scandal swirled in the aftermath. X-Posts hinted at a leaked text exchange between Heyman and a WWE executive, suggesting he'd been planning a major shakeup before his accident. Whether true or not, the rumors fueled speculation that Heyman's ambition had clashed with Triple H's creative control, adding a layer of complexity to their friendship. The Philadelphia crowd was more than spectators, they were mourners. Their chants of ECW and Paul Heyman were a cathartic release, a way to honor the man who'd given them a revolution. Every clap, every tear, felt like a vow to keep his legacy alive, a promise that his vision would endure. Triple H's speech returned to the bloodline, a storyline Heyman had crafted into a masterpiece. Paul believed in family, he said, his voice steadying. He believed in loyalty, even when it hurt. The words were a subtle nod to Roman and Jay, whose real-life family tensions mirrored their on-screen saga. The crowd felt the weight, their applause somber but heartfelt. Backstage, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H's wife, was a pillar of strength. Their marriage, woven into WWE's fabric, made Heyman's loss personal. Stephanie's quiet presence in the production truck, where she reviewed footage of Heyman's greatest promos, was a silent tribute to a man who'd shaped their empire. The night's matches carried an undercurrent of grief. Jay's gauntlet victory over the Vision felt hollow without Heyman's taunting presence at ringside. Roman's return, spearing Rollins, was less about triumph and more about honoring a man who'd believed in him when no one else did. The crowd roared, but their cheers were laced with sorrow. Becky Lynch, who stopped a beatdown on Natalya, dedicated her actions to Heyman. "He taught me to fight for what's right," she said in a post-match interview, her voice breaking. Becky's connection to Heyman was less known, but her words revealed a mentorship that had shaped her resilience. The scandal of Heyman's final days lingered. Reports on X suggested he'd been pushing for a radical ECW revival, a move some in WWE resisted. Triple H, in a rare candid moment, admitted to the press that he and Heyman had clashed over creative direction, but it was always out of love for this business. The locker room's younger stars, like Braun Breaker, felt Heyman's absence keenly. Triple H had paired Breaker with Heyman to hone his promos, a mentorship cut short. Breaker's emotional backstage promo, where he vowed to make Paul proud, was a raw moment that resonated with fans online. The night's closing image was Triple H standing in the ring, holding up a photo of Heyman from ECW's heyday. The crowd chanted, "Thank you, Paul," as the screen faded to a montage of his greatest moments, managing Lesnar, guiding Punk, and elevating Reigns. It was a tribute that felt like a family's farewell. Grief wasn't the only emotion. There was anger, too, anger at fate for taking Heyman too soon, anger at the unresolved tensions in his final days. Roman's silence, Punk's tears, and Rollins' hollow stare all spoke to a betrayal not of intent but of circumstance, a man gone before his story was finished. Looking ahead, Clash in Paris looms, but without Heyman, the path is uncertain. The Vision's future, the Bloodline's redemption, and the women's title tournament all feel like pieces of a puzzle only he could solve. Triple H's challenge is to carry forward a legacy that defined an era. The wrestling world is a family, and families break, heal, and endure. Heyman's passing reminds us that every promo, every match, is a piece of someone's heart. His genius was in making us feel the betrayal, the triumph, the loss. Triple H's reaction wasn't just a speech, it was a vow to keep that heart beating. In this moment of loss, we're reminded that wrestling is more than a show, it's a tapestry of human struggle, woven with love, loyalty, and the courage to face grief head-on. Paul Heyman's legacy isn't just in the stories he told but in the lives he touched. Until next time, fans, hold tight to those you love, and let their light guide you through the darkness.